You want to know the dirtiest secret in the car world? The gap between a $3,000 used car and a $300,000 supercar is not money. It's not engineering. It's not technology. It's not some magic that only the Italians understand, or some secret only the Germans have access to. The gap is knowledge. Specifically, the knowledge of 7 stages. Nobody says out loud when they talk about car tuning. Real car tuning. Polite suggestion. Let's build it. Subscribe and stick to the video Stage 0. Every legend starts with a lie. And the lie is this: that a car which starts every morning, drives every day, and gets you from A to B without complaint is a car that's ready. It is not. Right now, inside a perfectly normal-looking engine, there are silent killers. Spark plugs so fouled from years of city driving that they're generating an invisible misfire your ear can't detect, but your dyno sheet will. Coolant hoses that have expanded and contracted through 10 winters, and the hairline fracture inside one of them is 2 hard pulls away from making itself known in the most expensive possible way. Oxygen sensors so far off their factory calibration that the ECU has been quietly rewriting the fuel map for years. Stage 0, the Renaissance anime, is the act of reclaiming what was stolen. Every compression test, every fresh plug, every replaced seal and flush coolant and inspected sensor. It doesn't show on a spec sheet. It doesn't photograph well. And nobody at the car meet is ever going to be impressed by your fresh thermostat. Because before you can create something extraordinary, you have to make something honest. Stage 1. Right now, buried in the engine management system of almost every turbocharged car ever produced, there is a hidden vault of potential that the manufacturer deliberately locked. They're engineering it for 17 countries worth of emissions regulations, their fuel quality on 3 different continents, so they wrap the engine in a digital cage, a conservative ECU map that throttles the boost, retards the ignition timing, and soft limits the fuel delivery. An artificial ceiling placed on a machine that was built to touch the sky. 1 tuner, 1 laptop, and a complete rewrite of every restriction the turbo always wanted to run. Fuel curves optimized for power. The result is immediate. 50, 80, 100 horsepower unlocked from software alone. Stage 2. The ECU is free. The intake breathes. And right now, your factory exhaust was designed around one priority, and that priority was never performance. It was designed to pass a noise test, to satisfy an emissions committee. What that means for you is a labyrinth of tight bends and throttled piping that chokes spent gases. And every exhaust gas that cannot exit cleanly is a gas that blocks the next combustion charge from entering. A performance downpipe, a decat midpipe, a full catback exhaust. This is the pincer movement that removes that chokehold. And the sound? That deep, chest-thumping, unrestricted declaration that announces this car before it arrives? The second killer, thermal soak. Your turbocharger compresses air by brute mechanical force, past 150 degrees Celsius before it touches the intake manifold. An intercooler ambushes the superheated charge mid-journey and bleeds 80, 100, sometimes 120 degrees out of it before it reaches the combustion chamber. What arrives on the other side isn't just cooler. Everything before this was refinement. This is where the car stops knocking on the supercar's door and kicks it off the hinges. The big turbo swap is not an upgrade. It is a declaration. Factory turbocharger, the polite little snail that came with the car, is unbolted, retired, and replaced with something that was never designed to be reasonable. And now, the fuel system has to match this violence. High flow injectors. And in the serious builds, E85 ethanol, chosen not merely for its octane, but because it evaporates endothermically inside the cylinder, cooling the charge from the inside out, suppressing detonation, buying the timing advance that separates 1,000 horsepower from something that makes 1,000 look modest. This is why the Toyota Supra's 2JZ became the most revered tuning engine in history, that they accidentally built a racing engine sealed inside a road car, waiting for someone brave enough to unseal it. At stage 3, that 2JZ crosses 1,000 horsepower. The car still has a license plate. The Lamborghini in the next lane still has absolutely no idea what is about to happen to it. Stage 4. Now comes the conversation the internet skips. This engine is making 1,000 horsepower, and the parts inside it were designed for 320. The factory pistons are now containing explosion events 3 times more violent than their design load, firing at 100 combustion cycles per second, at temperatures that approach the limit of what standard aluminum alloy can endure. The connecting rods, those precision machined arms, translating piston fury into crankshaft rotation, are operating at stress levels their metallurgy was never once tested to survive. They will hold, until they don't, and when they go, they don't crack, they don't bend. They leave, sideways, through the block wall, at the velocity of a rifle round. Stage 4 is surgical bulletproofing, the act of making the engine deserving of what it carries. Forged pistons, not cast, not CNC'd, but forged. Raw billet pressed under thousands of tons of industrial force until its crystalline grain structure aligns at a molecular level, creating a component that is not just stronger, but constitutionally different from what the factory installed. Manley rods, Carrillo rods, head studs replacing bolts, main bearing studs anchoring the crankshaft against the violence it now lives in, and in the most extreme builds, a full billet block. The entire engine architecture remachined from a single solid piece of aerospace aluminium, same obsession that drove McLaren to line the F1's engine bay in 24-karat gold foil, not as wealth, but as physics. Gold reflects radiant heat with a precision no other material at that weight can match. Not 1 gram wasted, not one decision made for appearance. Everything measured in degrees and milliseconds. Stage 4 builds carry that same obsession, not in a Swiss factory, in a garage, at midnight, by someone who cares about this car more than its engineers ever were allowed to. Stage 5. Somewhere around Stage 5, we stop calling it a car. We call it a specialized instrument of physics, and we mean that with complete seriousness and zero exaggeration. Because Stage 5 is where the car leaves the world entirely and enters the only arena where its new personality makes any sense, the drag strip. And the drag strip has its own chemistry, nitrous oxide, NOS, the molecule that makes experienced tuners check their numbers twice and amateurs do things they regret publicly. Injected into the intake stream and exposed to combustion temperatures, it decomposes, releasing free oxygen atoms in concentrations that no turbocharger, no matter how large, could deliver in that moment. The engine, suddenly drowning in oxygen, burns a proportionally massive fuel charge, and the result is not acceleration. It is the neck-snapping kick, instant, violent, zero warning, that throws the driver into the harness and turns a 9-second car into a 7-second car between one heartbeat and the next. Not gradually, not in a rising wave, immediately. Methanol injection pushes charge temperatures below what any intercooler alone achieves, suppressing detonation at compression ratios that would turn pump fuel into a liability before the piston reaches top dead center. The engine operates in thermal conditions that should be catastrophic, and chooses to not stop. And then, the weight. Because this is where Newton takes over, and Newton does not care about your power figures. Newton cares about mass. Every kilogram removed from this car makes every horsepower hit harder. Polycarbonate where glass was. Bare metal where interior was. Carbon fiber where bare metal was. Battery relocated for traction weight. Every bolt, every panel, every component, interrogated, weighed, and sentenced. The car that entered Stage 0 had a soul. The car that exits Stage 5 has a purpose. The swap stage, and then beyond all the stages, beyond every remap and forged piston and chemical warfare in the fuel system, there are builders for whom this is still not the end. Not because they want more power, because they looked at the factory engine sitting in that bay and made the most radical decision available to any human being with a spanner. This is the wrong heart for this machine. The engine swap is soul.